All right, it looks like we're rolling. So, welcome, 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 dear Virgo. That's you. This is Tarot Lumination with your mini general report, like a spiritual type of, broad spectrum overview based around the heart aura, and it's for June 2018. So, you know the drill. If you've been here before, watch for your sun, moon, and rising and reinterpret everything, especially if you've got different for each one. Different sun, different moon, different rising. And then just reinterpret it all, squish it into one type of story that works for you. Okay? And let's see, what was the other thing? It's kind of a quirky month because it's very, very, the Gemini energy is fun. It's just generally kind of fun. It's light relief at the moment, and we all need it. The thing is that just below the surface, there's a tremendous amount of what I would call riptides and undertows. Like if you're in big wave surfing and like it all looks gorgeous on the top, and you think, oh, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do that. I'm really cool. I can handle this. And then you realize, oh no, what was I thinking? And because you didn't, look at the weather reports and see what was actually going on at the heavy currents underneath, which affect all of us. So I was just going to show you, I'm kind of adding this a little bit as an extra, um, like a side dish for the report, okay? These are just my own personal notes. They're very messy, I'm sorry, but I keep them on hand through the month just to remind me of key dates that I pick out that seemed to need special attention. So here we go. Very early in June, big fat Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, Grand Trine. Very comfortable, very nice for you. Also, the addition of the Cancer Capricorn opposition just a little bit later. So you put that together, you get a big fat Grand Trine, which is kind of on and off throughout the whole month. And then right in early stages, you've got this thing here. Now, this is a pretty quick transit, but it's very gorgeous for everybody in terms of its energy in itself, but it's extra comfortable for you, Virgo, because of all the trines and the sextiles, which are supportive energies in terms of astrology. And then we get into, also remember Gemini is, in classic Western astrology, it's a hard square to Virgo. So it might be a choppy month for you anyway, but all I'm suggesting is be extra careful because there's a lot of riptides and undercurrents and undertow that can add to the challenges. Just the dates to remember: June 6th, June 10th. We have the Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, big T squares going on the North Node. Okay, I'm not going to explain all this stuff. I just want to mark the dates. June 14th, Cancer, Capricorn opposition, ongoing, ongoing, ongoing. On the 15th, we've got the ongoing Grand Trine becomes very accurate again. So that's very sweet. That's the Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer thing. And underlying again, we've got the Cancer, Capricorn opposition. So that's, that's like a repeat of this one. And then things get really kind of choppy more towards the end of the month. The Leo, Aquarius, Taurus thing is a kind of a T square. And then towards the 23rd, we get the Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius T square, but it's actually combined with other squares, more or less like a big fat grand cross or a grand square. Very, very stressful energies for everybody. Now, for you, Virgo, these don't actually hit you face on. These are it's not right in your face, so to speak. And so it's very, very choppy, and it stays really choppy right until the very end of the month. June the 29th and the 30th, still very choppy, even though the sun has moved into Cancer and there's more planets moving in the Cancer, which are very supportive for you. Now, just for fun, I did cherry pick a day that's really sweet for you, like a few days here. It's mostly when the moon is in Virgo, as far as I recall doing my notes here. This is a beautiful grand trine here, this thing here, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. And this is just a generic chart, okay? But we're saying that the moon is over here in Virgo. So just for a few days, around the 19th, there's very, very harmonious, very supportive energy for you. So you might as well mark that on your calendar as your sweet spot, okay? So there you go. It's just like, appetizer nibbles. Let's get into the actual tarot, okay? That's what we're here for. That's what we do at Tarot Illumination. And in theory, like, we don't need to do any of the astrology if we don't want to, because the tarot kind of bypasses all of it and goes straight to the soul, goes straight to the heart. And the astrology is mostly like having an amazing weather app on your smartphone or your digital like sports watch or something, Cards are shuffled well in advance, and they are shuffled well in advance. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. Sorry about that. Not enough time, not enough space. And I love the cards the way they're made. I love the artwork. We're going to use the journey spread based around the heart, your heart, Virgo, and you'll see in just a moment. Please invite your spirit guides. Tarot Illumination brings in Team Tarot Illumination angels and interns and all of that as a group effort, because it's impossible to do this on your own, okay? It's a team effort thing here, all right? So we're going to cut and then we're going to go for it, all right? By the way, if you want to, you can also cross-watch for significant others in your life. Even though this is not a relationship reading, there's a separate playlist for love and relationship, okay? All right, here we go. Over here is your core heart energy, dear Virgo. The heart knows what it needs, knows what it wants, and it's hoping that you listen. Like there could be the egoic Virgo over here operating in 3D world, completely oblivious of what is going on with the heart. But the heart is very aware of you, because it has to be. That's how you stay alive, Virgo. Every beat, the heart is pumping all the nutrients and support you need and removing all the wastes, putting it out into the waste system. And anytime you neglect the heart and you're not loving yourself, the heart goes into disrepair. It becomes harder and harder for the heart to do what it has to do for you. So love thyself. Over here, legacy energy. What are you bringing in with you? Pretend you're in a private meeting with Tarot Illumination. Show me what's in your backpack, what's in your suitcase, what's in your resume. Just spill it all out. What have you got? Is it just something you want to show off? Or are you stressed out? What is it? Over here, the energy of the ever-present now. This is energy that can be awkward for a lot of people, because it means you have to be very grounded, present, conscious, and here. Like being an artist, totally in the zone, doing their thing, and nothing else in the world matters. They're just totally, totally immersed, and time doesn't exist. It's when we're deeply separated from the now that time can feel like very heavily pressured, like, oh, so much about the past, so much about our conditioning, our schedules, and our expectations of the future. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. And that takes you far, far away from the present, from the now. It is in the now where you own your power and you execute your power through the healing power of your decisions, okay? The decisions is a phenomenon that we have access to. It's a faculty, it's a capability that we have that allows us to override our default settings, our autonomic systems that are running on autopilot. And the reality is, for a lot of people, 99% of what we do is on autopilot. It's habitual behavior. It's like like we're barely conscious. You think you are, because you're doing all these things that seem amazing. Oh, my career, my college, my school, my family, my lovers, my kids, my finances, my education, my health, all of these things. And then you realize a lot of it is just default settings. Oh, eating, sleeping, laughing, crying. And there is more. There is another layer, and we can access that layer by saying, wait a minute, where are we now? Let's make our decisions based on the now. So how do you do that effectively so you can love thyself? Loving thyself is the most important thing you can do while you're here on this planet, because then that brings you to your optimal self, and this spreads the love around from the core of you outwards and to your loved ones, and from there it propagates to the world. Okay, so if we could all do that, the world would be a different place. Over here, the energy of consequence. If you're constantly outsourcing your power, giving away your power, neglecting your capacities and obligations and privileges, let's say privileges to make decisions, then you lose the power, and this feels more like fate. And when you're in your power, this feels more like consequence. So what happens if you're out of the zone and you're slipping and tripping up and wallowing in mud? What does that look like over here? On the other hand, what if you're in the zone and it works out? What does that look like from here? It's the same energy, but one is the reciprocal of the other. Over here, momentum. We're looking at momentum to the next heartbeat because we got to keep going. So there is the heart. It's kind of like an aura, okay? And it moves. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Just like the waves of the ocean. Excuse me, let's have a look at the weather. This is circumstantial energy. We're going to make the best of it, okay, Virgo? King of Wands here. My feeling is that in some ways you're kind of lucky this month, even though the Gemini energy is theoretically, you know, challenging for you. And yes, we have, without going into all of this stuff again, a lot of this is very, very challenging energy. A lot of the planets are spread out and moving around. Even the big retrogrades that are happening right now are still leaving a lot of room for the other forward-moving planets to do their thing. So everything is very active. It's like a very, very active system right now. And it's very easy to get caught in the riptides. Now, you're lucky in a way, Virgo, because none of that's hitting you directly, even though the energy's out there. It's like you get a chance to like wiggle through the month relatively unscathed. And you have your sweet spot around the 19th. Okay, cool. So it's an indication. My feeling here is that this is a really, really good time to look at this as exceptionally good weather for you. It might be really rough out there in terms of the reports and everything, and the way I, translate this, like, oh, that's stressful, oh, that's stressful. But in some ways, it's very good for you because you get to scoot through it, you get to understand it and observe it all without getting pummeled. So this is a chance for you to, my feeling is to become aware of all of that great stuff that's around you and how you can integrate that into your life and your world and attain dominion over this. So you attain mastery, you become in charge, you become a leader to yourself, you become an inspiration to yourself. And it doesn't mean you have to go around proving anything, but my feeling is to take full advantage of the circumstances right now and be aware of your own capabilities, your own magnificence, and how that shines out around you, how your capabilities are very, very inspiring for other people. Okay, and because a lot of us need that. A lot of us are having really, really rough times right now, and it's nice to know that there's someone out there who's doing well or has the chance to do well despite the challenges, and you're holding up really well. That's how it looks to me. That's how it feels from here anyway. All right, Virgo? No matter how stressful things might be for you, there is some really good stuff going on somewhere, somehow. Let's have a look at the heart. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. Well, to me, with the Four of Wands here, this is sweet in that your heart is basically saying ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. I know it's almost like, I'm a Virgo. I know what you're talking about, Terra Lumination. I think I know what you're going on about. I know it's freaky stuff out there. I've watched some of these reports. Yes, things are extremely challenging. The big T squares, the Leo Aquarius thing. Oh no, the Uranus in Taurus transit ingress. Oh no, oh no, oh my, oh, that's so amazing. But somehow or other, circumstances are just peachy for you, which allows you to like radiate at your best self and show your skills, your desires, your ambitions unfettered in a way that you can bring that into almost what I feel like a celebration. It's like your heart is celebrating, like saying, oh my God, it's Virgo. It's like your heart is saying, dear Virgo, person who owns me, thank God for noticing me and taking care of me. I think we can do this. I think we can handle this. I am on board with Team Virgo now. And I can tell that Team Virgo is on board with me. I love you. I love you. Let's get married. Let's get married to ourselves. This is like to me, this feels like your heart is very, very happy at this very moment. And let's just say, let's just lock it down. Let's say June 19th. Something around there will come to an awareness in some way, shape, or other, where you'll realize it is okay to celebrate. It is to be very okay to be very public with your own happiness, your own joy from the inside, from the heart outwards. This to me is extremely infectious. It's like an infectious disease, only it's love. To me, it looks like love that wants to share and be shared. Like your heart is so eager to share the love that you have and that you know above and beyond you, Virgo. And like make it public. Bring it into the open. Like let's make this official. Love breeds love. I want to share my love. I want my love to be shared with me. I want to share my love with you. And then that propagates like a weed. It's beautiful. Okay, let's have a look. What are you bringing in with you? I mean, I'm giving you a really rosy story to get rolling, but I mean, there's rarely a reading that goes by without some kind of stressful angle. Let's have a look. Okay, all right. Let's just say you, Virgo, are in a position right now. I have a feeling this is something to do with resonance. That big fat water trine I was talking about, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, you combine that with the big fat Capricorn, Cancer opposition. That's juicy, gorgeous, super gorgeous supportive energy for you, dear Virgo. And it's on and off sort of through the month. And you might as well take advantage of it. And I think that's what's actually happening here. And my feeling is that it's almost like pretend you're at a private reading here and you've just knocked on the door and said, hey, Terra Lumination, I need to show you something. I got something to show you. Look at this. I figured it out. I figured out the code. I figured out that there is a new code of life awaiting. I've got it in my resume. I've got it in my pocket. I don't know what to do with it yet, but I know it means that I'm going to have to completely recalibrate my life in some way, shape, or form or other. I want to go back to this thing. I'm really, this reading is really, I'm going to put this over here. Give me a moment. Bear with me, please, Virgo. I know this is kind of unusual, but wacky things happen at Terra Lumination. Okay, you've got Uranus and Taurus sort of over here, okay, happening in your life, in your world right now for the next 7 years. It's sort of up here in your 9th house area to do with ascending, so to speak, higher consciousness, greater wisdom, expanding your horizons. It's the Sagittarian type of energy of like adventure, fun, excitement, going on great learning experiences, sharing your wisdom with others, bringing the wisdom that you find up at the mountains, bringing it down to earth so some of us can get a taste of it. My feeling is that you've got that. You've got that in your pocket, in your backpack, and you're like showing Terra Lumination, look what I got. I got this new code, this new way of cool stuff going on in terms of higher consciousness, and I want to share that. I want to share that because I am having to do it for myself in my own life. So if I'm going to have to do it and it's cool and it's working, I might as well share that. That's how it feels to me, Virgo. I know this is sounding very wacky, kind of from outer space reading, but Uranus, Uranus and Taurus, it's big shifts for everybody. We're at the 0 degree point right now, pretty much for the next few months, on and off for a few degrees. So we're at the gateway period right now. So you might be really feeling it very strongly up in your levels of ascendance, like getting the view from the top of the mountain. Like, wow, I see a whole new code of life of how things really work now, as opposed to how I thought they were when I was just hanging down at the depths of the valleys. Okay. It's tumultuous. To me, it looks like tumultuous change and rewritings of the codes of life. And this is not a love and relationship reading. There's a separate playlist for that. But in some ways, there are certain tarot readers who would see a very strong indication of marriage here. Like I was talking about earlier. I don't understand why I'm sensing that or why it would be here, but it's like formalizing things, making things proper, doing things in a way that's public and traditional and celebrated that way, Oh, let's have a look at the ever-present now. Here we go. Oh my gosh. What's going on, Virgo? What are you on? What are you taking? What's your medication? What's your prescriptions? Show me what you got. What are your pills? I want one. Okay, over here, the 10 of Cups. It looks to me like in the present, in the right, in the now, you actually own this. You seem to own some kind of magical secret recipe to happiness. This is the kind of happiness that you don't really care about the past. You don't really care about the future. Right now, what's happening right now in your present moment is that you're owning this like it's your like it is your legacy. Like you've earned this. It's the energy of love and happiness kind of in the family setting. Like you got your people. You've got your loved ones and they love you. You've got your nearest and dearest and you can share your love with them and they can share your love with you. Them with you and you with them. And love breeds love. It's almost like a it's almost magic here. Do you see this rainbow? This is a very inspirational rainbow here of what joy and happiness means. It's almost ecstatic. That's what I'm feeling here. But it's also very grounded. Uh, there's a lot of very solid grounding energy going on here with the Capricorn Taurus, and it's very luxurious with all the Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So this to me looks like it's very good news for you, the way this is happening. So the question is, what do we do with all this bounty? What do we do with all this love? It looks to me like you're onto a totally new paradigm of life here, completely starting from scratch with a brand new code. Like, I've got a system, I've got a formula. Look, we do this, 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 and this. Uh, I don't want to go into the details because I don't know the details. You do. You, Virgo. You've got the secret sauce. You've got the recipe. So what are you going to do with this? Staying in the power in the now. It's almost like you have to share this. You have to tell the rest of the world your recipe. What is it? How are you going to do that? What are the decisions that you're going to make to love thyself further? In other words, you've set the bar so high on yourself and it's actually working. What are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? That requires decisions, questions, and answers. Okay. Deep, deep, deep soul transformation. It means like whatever you have done to get to be you and who you are and where you are right now, it's probably included some very, very traumatic, very savage, very, very brutal self-healing, self-examinations, ruthless cutting away, ruthless surgical removal of anything and anyone that is not healthy for you. And there's no apologies here. It's just simple. It's just very simple. Excuse me, you have to go. This has to go. This has to go. This has to go. There's no judgment here. There's no harm intended. It's just that certain things that don't work for me are not allowed anymore. And it's almost like this happened by invocation. It's like you created an environment or a situation and you deliberately brought this onto yourself so this could happen, and you did it of your own volition because you knew that this is how you wanted to be, where you wanted to be, and where you want to keep going. And the only way to do that was to almost like go to war and do ruthless butchering and slaughtering of everything that goes against you, because that's how you open up the new horizons. It's deep, deep transformational healing. And this often can only happen in the context of very deeply loving, intimate relationships. Psst, again, this is not a love and relationship reading. All I'm suggesting here is sometimes this level of deep soul healing, it has to start from within, but sometimes it can only be perpetuated in the context of a deeply transformational, intimate, deeply intimate relationship kind of settings with people who really love you and people that you really love. Okay, and it's very transformational for the others too. Okay, so your love, your infectious love energy, every decision that you make to love thyself transforms not only you but your loved ones. Okay, so how do you keep this going? It's like a magic brew. Okay, my gosh, you got some big cards here. You got some big cards here, dear Virgo. It's like you're going for it. To me, this looks like wizard energy coming out here. I was writing to a friend of mine about the energy of wizardry and all these amazing archetypes that we have in mythology about like wizards, sorceresses, paganism, and self-appointed gods and multiple gods and everything like that. But what I sensed when I was talking with my friend is the energy of wizardry, because not magicianship, not black magic, not white magic, but wizardry, on the understanding that we're talking about, sorry, going back to this again, we're talking about, oh, we'll just have to mark it now, Uranus in Taurus up here. To me, it looks like, ascended wizardry, like the ninth house energy of the wizard, and it's coming into being. It is actually coming now into being in your life, dear Virgo, where in some way you are like an earth god, an earth goddess, and you are expressing your energies through wizardry. And the wizardry is benevolent. There's no smoke and mirrors. There's no dark hidden agendas. We're not trying to uh, eradicate evil spirits. We're just focusing purely on positive energy, and that's how it goes. And it's very liberating. You have to. So in order for this to happen, and to keep this like wizard energy going here, it feels to me like it's like it's a formula. It's like a process. It's like a brew. When you kind of get a when they like the hip cool thing right now is all these artisanal craft juices and everything. Once you get the formula going and you build your production line and the bottles are popping out the other end and they're being swallowed up by people in the stores, it's like you can't stop it now. It's all good. It's all for the good. And you pump in the juicy, wonderful ingredients from here using your magic new formulas that you intend to share with the world, knowing by conscious decision that the secret formula includes transformational healing at the core. It means that you can't stop the production line now. You have to, like the wizardry is in motion, and now the thing is to keep it in motion. And what that means, from my perspective, is to like like the hidden recipe. One of the secrets inside the recipe is to forgive and forget. Like you, in other words, like I am a Virgo wizard. I'm telling you, everybody, I came up with this weird concoction, this magic new formula for life, my own life, and it's working for me, and I want to share it with you. And what I'm telling you, and if you look at the label of the small print at the back, one of the secret formulas, the secret ingredients of the formula is forgiveness, redemption, forgive and forget, releasing yourself from everything that you thought that was so important and binding, and liberating yourself on a continuous basis. Like once you start sipping this juice here, uh, and you start to realize how it works, there's kind of no going back. But in order for things to keep working, you have to invoke a practice, a continued practice going forward of blessing anyone and everything that is not on board with you, and it's not their fault. There's no judgment here. There's no blaming. There's nothing. It just means you love yourself. Love thyself to the maximum degree possible, and make sure you're with the people who love you too, and share that with each other. And there's no other better thing that you can do in life. Be with the people that you love. Be with the people who love you. Forgive and heal each other. Allow yourself to transform and be transformed by each other. And the show goes on, so to speak. Redemption, reconciliation. It looks like a lot of reconciliation here. That's part of the formula. Like once you get into it, it's like that's what's going to happen to you. Okay? Let's have a look. Gosh, this is taking a long time. I'm sorry I got carried away with the reading here, Virgo. So, oh my gosh, more big cards. So for you, Virgo, look over here. With the High Priestess energy, consequently what's happened is, whether you know it or not, whether you came into the room as some kind of wizard with the secret formula, it is now official. You are a wizardess. It's almost like you're both. Like, and that's kind of cool, because it means you don't have to have any alliance with gender. You can just be a full-on wizard, so to speak. And whatever needs to be known will become known. Whatever is unknown will stay unknown until it needs to be known, and such is the mystery of Uranus anyway. So to me, this looks like good news, in that you are kind of in some kind of magical zone here, even if this reading sounds like total nonsense at this point in time, Virgo, maybe it'll make more sense towards the end of the month once you've lived through this story a little bit, and you can see how profoundly your life is changing and how it's going to change and how it's going to continue to change. And there will be a lot that is left behind and a lot that is renewed, and the mystery will unfold. It will continue to unfold, just like an amazing novel. Okay? And you're in the thick of it, you're in the middle of it, writing it as you go along. Think of this as the energy of writing a book, too. So that might be somewhere inside of you. You might be living your life as though you're writing Lord of the Rings or something, or, you know, one of those amazing mythology books, you know, pure wonderful fiction, but actually you're living it. Okay, let's see what happens if you're screwing up and you had a really rough day. Okay, it's all right. It's not the end of the world. With the Two of Pentacles here, it feels to me that it's just like, oh, I had a bit of rough weather. So it feels like this is the actual reality check of you living through June and all the extreme choppy energy and you just having to deal with it. So if you had a rough day, okay, I crash in the waves. Uh-oh. I have to get up again. It's okay. I'm strong enough. I've got all this, man. Look at me. I don't have to prove anything. I'm back on top and I got my balance again. I'm back in the groove. Keep going, keep going. Uh-oh, more rough waves. But it's okay. I'm up again. Now, when you are in the zone, then this is much more like big wave surfing. Like you're in it, like I'm on the wave now. Watch this. I got my balance. I got it. I'm balancing all the challenging things with all the good things. Look at me. I got it. I got it. I got it. Whoa. Wow. That was awesome. Let's have a look. Prospects. Okay. Okay. I'm not saying go get drunk with all your buddies here, but it looks to me like you must be doing something right, Virgo. It looks like you've got a secret formula for love breeds love. And it's on the ingredients in very tiny print on your magic sauce, your artisanal juices, your little packages of uh, homemade, whatever it is you do that you're sharing with the world, your recipes for love and happiness and how it works. Because it's celebrating. It looks like it's like once you learn this, well, it's not like once you learn it, it's almost like you've already learned this, and now what are you going to do with it? And from my perspective, it looks like you've discovered a secret formula that you always knew was there, but now you've got it, and now you're going to create like your a spiritual juice factory. Artisanal handcrafted juices, it's only for the ones who are aware. It's not going to work for people who are like on completely different, you know, frequencies from you. This love breeds love, so it's like it's very magnetic and it's also very resonant outwards, like those singing bowl type of things. It has a very, very enchanting effect on people. Your love breeds love. You get to celebrate your love with others. The others get to celebrate their love with you. And this just feeds on itself. It's like a nuclear reactor in terms of love. I don't want to spoil it by saying anything more. I mean, you can reinterpret this however you like. It just feels very fated. Maybe sometimes, some way, Virgo, you might have known that this was like all going to happen for you, and now it's time. You are taking your position in the spotlight here and going with it. Even though Virgos, you can be very discreet and shy and prefer to be in the background. This is not a time for you to be in the background. This is you radiating and glowing some way, somehow or other, even if it's still deep inside of you and it's not apparent to others or yourself yet. The formula is set. All right, let's leave it at that. Thank you so much. Have a super June, Virgo. All the best. Bye-bye.